Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today so that we can discuss Magic and Bird, a Courtship of Rivals. Now, this is a documentary from HBO Sports. It follows the story of Earvin Magic Johnson and Larry Bird as they rise to prominence in basketball, going all the way back to like their high school days, into their college days, and finally as they would become professional basketball players. It looks at kind of this constant rivalry and pushing back and forth to like who's the best, who can win the championships. And it also takes the time though to look at each person individually and look at who they are and how that shaped, how the rivalry went. You got Magic Johnson, who's like, slick and polished, Los Angeles, Hollywood, glamorous. And then you have Larry Bird. I think they called him like lunch bucket, like a blue collar working class white basketball player. That was explored a lot in this documentary too. The racial element to this. And it talked about how Larry Bird kind of ignored it and didn't really play into it. But regardless of what he did, like it was still projected upon him, which intensified the rivalry to the public, but it wasn't really part of the rivalry for Magic and Bird. The documentary looks at, the different aspects of their career. It chronicles as they battled each other, in the NBA as far as trying to win championships. And it has some really interesting, like, candid interviews with both Magic and Bird and other people that were connected to, the NBA at the time. But I just thought the interviews were, like, really powerful. Like here, especially, like, toward the end, there's some really powerful moments with Larry Bird where he talks about what it was like when he found out that Magic Johnson had HIV and that their rivalry was in essence over, their experiences on the Olympic basketball team together. And I just thought it was a really powerful shift from Larry Bird, from how he talked about the early days of their rivalry right up to that moment. And then after that moment, like it was just really interesting to hear him give his perspective on it. But I thought this was a really good documentary. I'm not the biggest sports fan, but I do like basketball from that time period. And I also like the fact that these are like characters kind of, and they're real people, but they're also like their character elements. There's a story and a narrative here that unfolded over, a series of years in a very high profile way. So I thought it was a really good documentary. It's the kind of thing that even if you're not really into sports or basketball, like this is just such a strong, it's two great stories that combine into like, a even greater story. But I think this is a great documentary, and I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of documentaries or really, human interest stories, even if you're not into the sports element. But that's my review for Magic and Bird, A Courtship of Rivals. Thank you for watching this review. And if you want to check out more, I've got movie reviews, TV show reviews, taste tests, live streams, all that kind of stuff. But thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you soon.